Hey there guys, welcome back to another episode of Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection. I'm your host Mike. Thank you for tuning in. And before we start guys, don't forget to check out my channel and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. But let's get right to it guys. I got a nice little stack of new 4K movies that I've been picking up over the last, I'm not gonna lie, these might go back to about 7 months, maybe even longer. Just been getting them here and there and stuff, and there's been some other special editions and stuff come up, you know, Criterions and the Kinos and stuff, but these are some ones I'm gonna put them all together and show you guys. So of course these aren't new anymore to everyone. These aren't just right off the press, brand new and stuff, but these are really good 4Ks, and I'm glad I picked these up. They look good and everything. So let's get right to it. This is Robert Eggers. This is a movie from Robert Eggers, shall I say. He is a director, and he's fast becoming one of my favorite new directors, I guess, of my generation. You know, he's roughly my age. He's been working for a while, and he's put out each movie he puts out is his own. I mean, each movie is very, very original. He puts his touch all over it, and when you see it, you know it's a Robert Eggers movie and stuff. Hit or miss. Not all his movies have been right on the nose and everything. But let's start with this first one here. This is his remake of Nosferatu, and this came out last year, I think, or 2024. I picked it up a little bit later than that and everything, but this is the 4K Blu-ray and Blu-ray extended cut with two versions of the film. I want to say, is there a black and white version of this? Is that how he did that? Oh, extended and theatrical. Because a lot of guys are doing that now. They're putting them back out with a black and white version, you know, and everything. But really good movie. Lots of atmosphere in this. I mean, it's got a killer cast. Bill Skarsgård, Nicholas Hoult, Lily Rose Depp, who is Johnny Depp's daughter, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Emma Corrin, and of course William Dafoe, who's appeared in almost all his movies except for the Witch. Of course, you know, The Lighthouse and this, The Witch, the Northman. I really love those movies. Those are some really good ones. My wife hates The Witch and stuff like that, but Nosferatu she didn't like either. She didn't like it, and I'm like, okay, well. But you know, that's fine. She didn't like it. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good, and it's a different take on a vampire. It's a different take on the Nosferatu, you know, monster vampire that was famously, you know, made in 1922 as Nosferatu. You know, F.W. Murnau's version of it with Max Schreck as, you know, Count Dracula and everything, and it's trying to stick to that story. It's trying to stick to the original Dracula story. He likes to be really accurate. He likes to put a lot of detail in his work, and I mean, it's a beautiful looking movie and stuff, but I mean, my only qualm with the vampire is just he sounds like he's having an asthma attack, you know, or something. He's got this wheezing that kind of goes on and stuff or something, which can be distracting to me. It kind of distracted me at times, but I didn't let that ruin the film for me. You know what I mean? It's just, okay, I get it. That's his little addition to this thing and everything, but yes, definitely recommend it to watch this. It's probably streaming. Definitely watch it, pick it up, The 4K looks really good. Next up, this was cheap as dirt cheap, and I had to pick this one up. This is the 4K edition of Titanic by James Cameron. 1998 this came out. I went to the theater and I saw this with someone, and when I left, my butt was numb for about an hour. It is like a 3-hour movie. It may have been one of the first times I sat through a movie in a theater that long at that time, at 194 minutes. Yeah, I believe it's a little over 3 hours, but there was no break or anything. So, but this is a pretty good addition. Now, James Cameron's been kind of guilty now of George Lucas effect, going back and kind of changing things a little bit and tweaking things. Overall, it's as I remember it. It looks really good. I mean, this was a big budget Hollywood movie at the time. You know, the latest technology was used on it. That's one thing about James Cameron is he pushes technology. He's using that new technology, the newest, trying to be more innovative even. Believe it or not, even though he is a Hollywood director, but he is kind of trying to, push the medium and everything and stuff. But yeah, Titanic was a ginormous hit at the time. I mean, the press would have either called it a gigantic hit or a gigantic bomb. Either way, it could have went either way with the movie being about the Titanic and stuff, which I thought was kind of but pretty nice additions. Comes with a slipcase and everything. Okay, so next up. Again, these I got the 4K of Aliens by James Cameron. Now he's been releasing a lot of his films. He's released True Lies, Alien. Well, Alien's not his, but Fox's, or these Fox films have been coming out. Aliens, Titanic and everything. Looks really good, sounds really good. There's a couple of scenes where the 4K kind of really shows the effects at the time, kind of shows up the effects. I think it's on some shots of like the spacecraft in space, and you can kind of tell, you can kind of see these special effects and how they did it and stuff, as opposed to before where you couldn't really see it. On my disc, I had a problem with it freezing at a couple spots, and I did some research on this, and this actually has happened to other people with this particular disc and other discs out there, 4K discs that just freeze up a little bit, and you have to kind of skip it and stuff. And I looked at the disc, and nothing's on the disc. It doesn't look discolored or scratched or anything. So I don't know if it's a technical problem on the studio that put it on the manufacturing of the disc or what. But I will look into it more and see what's going on with it. But yeah, this also includes the special edition that's 17 minutes longer and the theatrical version and stuff. So, but yeah, it's your one-stop shop for that movie. I mean, really good. I also have a Blu-ray of it, which doesn't seem to have any kind of freezing problems, of course. So yeah. So next up, we're going all the way back to 1930, technically 1929. This movie was shot first as a silent movie, and then sound was already out at that time, but it was so in its infancy when the director was making this that he went back and scrapped a lot of it and reshot it in sound. Now I'm talking about one movie and one movie only. Hell's Angels. That's right, guys. Hell's Angels, all the way back to 1930. Directed by Howard Hughes, the famous, boy wonder, inventor, rich, designer, aircraft designer, air pilot, just recluse, famous, just crazy man, everything. But he wanted to get his hands. He had a lot of money, and he said, "Well, I want to make a movie." So Hollywood's like, "Okay," and he put a lot of his own money in this. And this movie stars Jean Harlow, Ben Lyon, James Hall, The cinematography in this movie is amazing. It's just simply amazing, and the shots in the air with the air in the aircraft with cameras up there. I forget what they used, like 17 different planes and cameras or something like that. And I think they had some crashes. There might have been a couple of deaths even on this movie. But the Hindenburg scene where the Zephyr or the Zeppelin gets bombed and goes down is just movie magic at its best. It's got some color tinting going on, some early Technicolor 2-strip, I believe, for parts of the movie, and it looks really cool. Jean Harlow, this movie just made her a star. Previously, she had been in some Laurel and Hardy silent movie shorts, comedy shorts and stuff, and this was really her big ticket out to major stardom at the time. And Criterion put this out, and they put some extra stuff on here. There's a really good documentary talking about the movie. Farron Smith Neame, she did a really good story on Jean Harlow in the movie, a little special feature. It's got some outtakes of the film, which are very, very, very rare, because all stuff was thrown out back in those days. Hardly nothing survives as like extra copies or stuff that was cut out of the film. They didn't save any of that stuff. They just threw it out. They recycled it, basically. But some stuff survives, some extra scenes, some behind-the-scenes stuff, which are a revelation to this movie. And it was found and put on here. And I'm really glad they did that. But yeah, it looks really good. It's got some good stuff going on in here. Of course, you know, Martin Scorsese made the movie The Aviator based on Howard Hughes and stuff. And there's a big part of the movie where he's making this particular movie. Now, he went on to make, you know, a couple other movies and stuff, famously just taking movies out of people's hands and redoing them himself or not releasing it for years. He did that quite a bit. But this was his beginning foray into movie making. Absolutely beautiful film. Just love this movie. For people out there that love pre-code stuff and early sound movies, this is just amazing. An amazing collection and stuff. But this is my DVD edition of it that I've had for about 20 years now. So it's I guess I might hang on to it. I'm not sure. But yeah, this was the previous release of this. Now remember this coming out. UCLA restored it, I think back in the 80s or 90s or something, and the channel AMC, back when they showed old movies back in the 90s and stuff like that. I remember they showed this, and this was a special thing. They had like a series of special UCLA restored movies and stuff. Movies like Becky Sharp, which was first Technicolor movie, stuff like that. They showed that. I remember we didn't get that channel, and I wanted to tape it. I was a very young teenager. Went to my grandpa's house and copied it off of AMC at his house, so I could have so I had this kind of a VHS copy of it for a while, and then I got that and stuff. But it's just a really cool movie in my heart. I guess from discovering it then and everything, and just that whole technical side of restoration and saving something, and UCLA and their archives and all that stuff is just absolutely fascinating to me. And blah blah blah. But anyways, guys, okay, finally, this is I may have shown this before, I cannot remember, but anytime I can show this movie and talk about it I'll take the chance, right? This is the 4K of Blazing Saddles, Mel Brooks's big hit from 1974. He also made Young Frankenstein. I mean, he made two classics in 1 year. Love this movie. It's a send-up of westerns from the 1950s and 40s and stuff. And some people don't like it. Some people don't like the humor in it. It was co-written by Richard Pryor. He put a bunch of, stuff in there. Some people think it's semi-racist. Sometimes people, they just don't get the humor anymore in it. And it's really poking fun at the whole Western genre at that time. Some of the movie stars at that time. Plus, it's just Mel Brooks, period. It's just hilarious. Gene Wilder, Cleavon Little, Madeline Kahn, Mel Brooks himself is in this. I mean, great movie. God, this is a laugh ride. Every time I watch this, I just laugh my butt off. I can almost like sit there and just talk and mime every word that's in the movie. I just know it by heart and everything, because I saw it at an early age, and it was a movie that actually my dad and parents and different people would watch it and just laugh their asses off. But yeah, that's my 4K. And then here's my this is what it's, I guess, quote, replacing. This is my Blu-ray edition of it. I'm going to hang on to it just because there's, minor subtleties and differences in the 4K compared to this. So yeah, I'm going to hang on to my regular Blu-ray. But there you go, guys. What do you think about that? Some interesting 4Ks there. And you probably have those, most of you guys, but if you haven't, check those out. The ones to really check out is Hell's Angels. Now, if you're curious about older movies or maybe early sound movies, and you're really interested in the technical side of Hollywood, it's very fascinating because it was the beginning of using sound. The camera was freed. It was just the aerial stunt work in the movie alone is just amazing. It really is. It makes the movie, if nothing else. Of course, The Wings came out in 1927, which was World War One. It had a lot of dogfights in the air, camera mounted to the planes and stuff, and kind of, I think Howard Hughes wanted to take it one step further and put more cameras up in the air, more everything and stuff and everything. But check that movie out if you're in the least bit curious about it. It's well worth your time. Try to catch it on sale, maybe during a Barnes & Noble sale when they have Criterion's on sale, and everything. So there you go, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I will see you guys next time with a fistful of 4Ks.